Hey guys, this is Chris from DSX Machina, and this I have been looking forward to for some time. This was supposed to arrive just before Christmas, and I was hoping to get this update out for Christmas as a nice Christmas gift. Unfortunately, because of Christmas delays and because of issues with shipping with China, I didn't get this until New Year's. In fact, it just arrived on January 2nd, just a few minutes ago. I'm going to dive into this. This is the production prototype. This is the version that people are going to receive. Let's just dive into it. I'm really nervous. I really want to get into it quite quickly. So let's. I'm alone here. The wife is at her parents' at the moment, so I won't have an assistant. That's the easiest way to. No, this is the easiest way. There we go. There's a lot of tape here. All right, well, it's definitely the game. It would be embarrassing if this wasn't, but it was something else. Now, I'll also make the point of talking about the reasons why we did certain things from a production standpoint. Whenever people ask about the choices we made, game-wise, production-wise, and come on. I want to get inside this thing really badly. Yeah, get that cut. There we go. That's what's holding it back. So here we go. It is going to be, I'm going to grab the other one. Be right back. So this here is the production prototype. Now I'm going to take this out of its very ample bubble paper, so we can see the differences in design. Now, first thing I'll think about is the size. Now this looks like it fits, but you can see here, this is significantly thicker, because we can see here, we can't actually close it because of all the components. Where in this one, it's a little bit extra, but that's because of the punch boards. Hopefully the plan is once this thing gets boxed up, you will be able to see it. So that's one thing. It is a little thicker. Looks fine all the way around. This is supposed to bend around the corner, which is nice. This bends around the corner here, which is really nice. I love the wraparound. And we have a seam line there, so we can see player count, company name, Naramata, and we see from the back there. And again, everything looks like it fits. Let's get this puppy open. This is where the anxiety comes in. Okay, not bad. This is pretty good. Right off the bat, we're going to see the three manuals: German, Spanish, and English. We chose these languages because primarily Spanish is one of the most spoken languages on the planet, and German is popular because it's a massive industry. We were going to do a French version. We never got around to it. And the other version we would come out with maybe would be an Italian version, but that never ended up happening. We may put those out later as a... And so we have our ultra thick boards. Let's see, make sure these are good. There we are. We can see these are all working well. Next batch. Looking really nice. And the next one. Now, this is supposed to fit in here, and look at it. It fits really solid. That's our board. Take that board out. We're going to fold that open here. Now we have a couple. Oh, look at these. Now, okay, well, first of all, there's an issue. Luckily, it's a minor issue. There's only one tray here, and there's supposed to be four. And I can see it's got a bit of an odd cut there. So that's something we can get addressed. These two are done correctly, so I'm pretty happy about those. That fits in just like that. The die looks good. It goes right where it's supposed to go. And let's take a quick look at our wooden meeples. We have our purple, and they can go right there. We have our white with my car, that can go right there. We can have the gray which is the Tesla. Can't say Tesla, but whatever. We've got the red, which is a kind of a Jeep. We've got the blue with the van. So thankfully we do have, and we also have a slight gap there, which is actually something that's very fascinating. I may want to open up the other one, see if that's actually there, but put blue there, and finally the black with the Hummer, which goes there. Open this up. Yeah, so you can see here that we've added this cavity where this cavity wasn't present there. And here we've expanded this cavity as well, just to maximize. We also notice also the color. This is very flat, this is very shiny. No real opinion on that either way. And that crevice. You also notice that this has gotten a lot larger, and that's going to be explained quite quickly. Actually, right back there. Put that back up there with those manuals there. And we'll put those back. There's that, and we have this bag, which should have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if the colors are right. 2 blue. We don't have the yellows, and we have the green. Okay, so the colors are right. We got all of those just fine. And I can see. Oh, there it is. I was getting worried for a second. I was trying to figure out where in the world. I was getting concerned where the cork maple was. There's the cork maple, and the cork maple goes right where it's supposed to go. Now, it's supposed to, it could have fit there, but yeah, it fits right there horizontally. So it fits right in there, and you get your fingers in there pretty easily to get it out. Let's move it out so you can see it. But so there you go. But that fits in quite nicely. We have the all the little wooden discs. Now, the first thing people may notice is that there's going to be a slight different count. So, we'll get those sorted out here. We've got 3 of these are for actions. One's a tracking token. The other one is a separate tracking token if you go over 100 points. And if you happen to get a 4th action token, you get that one. So that's why there should be 6 tokens for each one. Put 6 from him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 for blue. Black, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for black. Gray, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for gray. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for purple. However, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for red. Why is that? Because the red player gains 1 extra token as part of their character, and they can get 1 more. So they can have 1 extra token. So that's why they get 1 extra. So that's good. That's actually nice. And we can get these beautiful little bottles. And let's see here, and match it with the board. Let's take a look at that board. Well, it's looking pretty nice. Let's take a look at the finish. Looks really solid. So let's see about getting these out here. Let's see if we can see what the whole board looks like. Okay, I'm gonna push these out. And we've got 2 purple, we got the 2 blue, we got the 2 orange, we got the 2 black, that'll stay up. Got 2, there it is. Okay, we're missing a white. 2 white, where are the whites? Whites are right here. 2 green, which are up here. Finally, the 2 red, which are there. Pretty good. Like I said, these look as good as the other ones. They're laid, so they're not square. That's something we were going for. That did make them a bit more expensive, but I thought it was really important to have them. Nice and beefy little bottles. And that came out really, really well. I really am liking the match and the fit. We went for pretty high production value. So I'm going to get these out of the way. Fold this puppy up. and get these put here, and then because it has design, they should all fit within this cavity with room to spare. So that's how I think it should be packaged. Bottles go here, got your die right there. Day tracker cork goes there, and then we separate one character each in here, two in each in there, and here we have in this little container. Now we have two of them here because you never know. You know, there may be an expansion. We may have more cards that come down the pipe with more characters, right? Or you can just put the 4 reference cards there, and then all of the tourist cards. And of course, we've talked before of a lot of these. Actually, all of these are based on real people. Some of them may be friends of yours, and it might be you yourself might be on here as well. So these are all the tourist cards. And this side, like I said, this is supposed to be square, so I'm not entirely sure why it's cut off on that one side. And there should be 4 of them instead of 1. So that's going to be the only concern that they have to fix before we go to production. I will not be asking for another prototype. It's weird that these are all messed up, but whatever. So we have our wine cards. These are our wine cards. These look really solid. We'll go through them real quickly. Here are our upgrade cards. We'll take a look at those in a second. And our cheese cards. Let's get that out of there. And our cheese. And we have a little reservoir for each of them. It's funny that they're all mixed up like this, but whatever. Gives you a little bit of a fun job sorting these out, but pretty straightforward. Upgrades, cheese. It's just fascinating that it did this way, but whatever. It's a pretty easy thing to sort that. Some people love organizing their job. So this is, in my way, kind of fun. I actually like boxing up and unboxing games. So my wife is actually going to be angry that I'm doing this by myself, but I really, oopsie, wanted to get this open. She's actually going to be very angry with me, actually. And let's see, get those. And we can see they fit in their area quite nicely. And there you go. So that's all of them. And we can see here we got these. There are going to be fewer of these purchase cards. They are the fewest. They're the smallest deck. The cheese and the wine decks are identical in configuration, so they should also be identical in length. So that's pretty good. 24 of those, I think. And then the wine, same. As we explained in the rules, that there is 3 of each variety, so there will be 3 of these ports, for example, 3 of these whites, and 2 of them have the 3 reward symbol, and 1 of them will have the 4 reward symbol. And the cheese is the same way, except the rewards are 1s and 2s, but every cheese is still triplicated. This is the thing that was always kind of frustrating to see if they got this right, because the costs, the reward on the back of these cards reflect the cost. So that should be a 7, 4 points. So 4 from there should be 3, 4, 7, 6 is 9. So if we come across a 5, that should be 8. So these should all be organized correctly. So since we have so many examples, 5, that should be a 2. These used to be separated by value of 4, so 8 would have been 4 instead of 5, but I increased it by 1 in the last variation. And we can see some of these are designed for the 3 and 4 player variety, and a few of these will just be for the 4. So that tells you how you configure these decks depending on player count. So that's nice. So that's also really good. So, and we can see here our punch boards. Now, one thing we did, you'll notice on a lot of these tokens, that they're double-sided in the way that there's a 1 value, and then the 2 variety value is there. And when you're putting money, you can put the money right in that spot, either in the 2 variety or the 1. And when you spend it, you can either flip it, or if you just have 1, you remove it. Simple and straightforward. Now, one decision that we made was that when we made this, we realized we had 9 extra token spots based on our numbers. Now, instead of just leaving them blank, we decided to fill them up, which means these might be a little on the snug side, and I think in a later video we'll show how to properly box this up. As you can see, I've kind of done that already. That these tokens will be falling into these areas here, but you might find them a little on the tight side. But that's, like I said, it's not really a huge deal. But yeah, there you go. So like I said, the only issue here is that there should be 4 of these things underneath there, right? Put that in there, but yeah, that's perfect there. That fits. And then, as stated, that should go right there. And that fits it, and it also locks everything in place. And finally, we have the 3 manuals, and that fits in like that. That's really nice. So only one little mistake, which hopefully won't be an issue to resolve. The only thing we have to make sure, thankfully the colors are right. This is right. The only difference is obviously this one's a bit squared, and there should be 4 of these instead of just 1. So we'll get that resolved right now. But anyway, guys, hopefully now that this prototype is good, we don't see any physical errors. Everything fits itself quite nicely. We are going to move ahead and get this in production correct, making sure that this is also not cut correctly. We're going to get sure that also. So I'm just cutting in very, very quickly in this video. I'm actually mistaken going into this production copy. I think what they did is that these weren't finished yet, so they put in the ones from the prototype, because this is actually not correct. This is an old variety. And I know that because it matches the one from here. This is the clear faulty one. But you'll notice that these indents are in here. Now, we were going with these indents, but then realized that the cards weren't fitting very snug. So Noah, our designer, redesigned them so it's just one flat row with these knobs on them, so that we can see how this is not shaped accordingly. So this is the old one. So we still need to get the 4 proper ones put in. So that's what we're going to get China to do right now, and hopefully we'll be able to get this fixed. But we can see right there and there how kind of off shape that one is. But yeah, that's just a quick little update there. Is resolved, but here looks really sharp. That tray looks nice. The other tray looks really nice. They sit a bit nicer actually, because in this tray here, they're a little bit harder fit. Let's put this in here. Yeah. So this is a microscopic smaller just because it fits a bit more easy, which I like. I like that. They're supposed to be. And it goes in like that. Things may shuffle around, but I'm not terribly concerned about that. Everything should stay on thanks to the board, which is, yeah, fits in there nicely. Yeah, there you go. So that's it. And let's also take a quick look and make sure that these are in German. So there's our German Turismo, there's our Spanish, and then finally, let's make sure the English one looks good. That looks nice. And all the rules there. And the day. We also threw in this little thing at the end. We actually had 2 extra pages on our leaf, so we added this to it. This is something that we just did as just a picture of the manual with a bunch of photos that my wife took. And these are the real wineries. We can see photos of 3 Sisters, there's Upper Bench, there's 4 Shadows, there's Serendipity, Black Widow, Elephant Island. It's amazing I can recognize date. Well, some of these are easiest. Daydreamer, and some of these are that is Ruby Blues. And these are some views. I bet you that view is obviously we're trying to match these views to where you are. So if you were driving across Naramata, you would see these very things, and that's one thing I wanted to get across. And of course, we have a reference. So because we have a reference card, but this gives you a lot more information on the reference, and a lot of people like reference cards. And we have our objective. I'm gonna go through it in more detail, but yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy because that would be ecstatic if this was actually fixed. But that's going to get resolved right now. Anyway, guys, this is Chris from GSX Machina, and I'll sign off, and we'll get on to the next step and get these games in your hands.